It was a warm October day. As she sat in the house all alone, wondering what to do, with the smell of crisp leaves in the air, a certain gloom to the sky, she decided the day would be perfect for a walk in the cemetery. She decided to wait about an hour before the sunset. To set the mood before she went, she played Pet Cemetery as she packed her things for a nightly adventure. A flashlight, video camera to document for what she wished a ghostly encounter, extra batteries, and a small jacket, all placed inside her camo backpack. Much a loner, she had very few friends. She thought it better that way. People call her strange, weird girl, for her love of dark things, unexplained things, dead things. She thought as her camera as her best friend. You never let me down, as she would say on every adventure. Something about today she thought was special, it being October and all. Why not engage in the dark month, her favorite time of the year? Not like most girls, she was not afraid to walk in the woods alone, or sneak into an abandoned house. It was her calling, and at age 12 she received her first video camera. And of course her first documentation was nothing like you would expect of a girl her age. She waited for her foster parents to fall asleep, and snuck into the local funeral home. The video was said to contain images of corpses and caskets. A family was killed a few days before and were going to be shown at the funeral the next day. Mother, father, and two twin sisters. A car wreck is what took the life of the family. One of the sisters' casket had to be closed because of the remains of the body. As shown in the 12-year-old's video, she opened the casket to find a headless girl about 6 or 7 in a little pink dress. As of today, now age 27, she still has nightmares of that night. Sometimes the little girl without a head in a little pink dress will appear with the other sister head intact. She can never make out what the sister with a head is saying. It's always muffled with a type of static, white noise if you will. As she goes to lock her door, she runs back to turn the kitchen light off. Excited for her October adventure, she starts to feel an unwelcome feeling, the feeling of dread, wondering if it's a sign to stay home. She brushes off the feeling as she locks the front door, saying to herself, not today, dark energy. The cemetery is approximately 4 miles from her apartment. She passed it on her way home from the grocery store the other day. An old run-down 1800s cemetery it looked like to her. New to the area, she was ready to explore. Living off the trust fund her adopted parents left her, she found a 2-bedroom apartment in a little town in Alabama. She fell in love with the old willow trees as she drove through the small town for the first time. She found an old back road lined with willow trees. The willows highlighted a gravel road not many travel on anymore. The gravel road and the willow trees seemed as if they were calling her name as it led her to an old plantation farmhouse. Her dream home, one of a kind. So much history, so much tragedy. She felt the spirits on that long road lined with willow trees. The slaves, the lost souls, soldiers who never made it home from the Civil War. She had a gift or a curse, sometimes that's how it felt to her. The dead were drawn to her, using her gift to try and communicate, get a message across, or in some cases to solve their own murders. Feeling so drawn to the town and the history, she knew where she wanted to settle her roots for the time being. She ran a YouTube channel, using her tool, her best friend, and trusty sidekick, her video camera. Her real dream was to have a documentary that just blew people away. Or maybe her own television series. But most importantly, she was doing what she loved. Her passions, traveling, and the unknown. About 2 miles into her 4-mile walk to the cemetery, street lights started to come on. As the October day turned into October night, a chill went down her back as she entered closer to the graveyard. Seeing the entrance up close was exciting to her. As she moved closer to read the sign on the broken down gate, the feeling of dread hit her like a ton of bricks. Never has she felt this way on her many adventures. Sure, a little scare here and there, but nothing like this, she thought. As she read the sign, it said Willow Cemetery 1892. As she read the sign aloud, a wolf could be heard in the distance. Then a pack of wolves, howling at the full harvest moon. She forgot that it was a harvest moon, what she called the blood moon. That was part of her feeling of dread. The blood moon was in the night sky. The night her adopted parents were killed, with a red ring around the moon. She said to herself, blood on the moon, blood moon, we meet again.